Electrosmog polluted the air above Neo-Tokyo, a side effect of the harvester's unrelenting resource extraction. Mariko's auditory cortex implant filtered the acoustic spectrum. Harvesters generating a 60 Hz fundamental tone, accompanied by 120 Hz and 180 Hz upper partials. Millions of micromotors added a persistent high-pitched whine, a frequency that tickled the edge of her auditory range, a sound that, legend had it, once signaled hope rather than dread. She zoomed her optic implants, focusing on the nearest harvester hovering above. Its hull, a dark, bulbous mass, bore a tessellated array of multispectrum energy collectors and molecular sieve actuators, fractal patterns designed for maximum efficiency. The machine's core pulsed with the telltale radiation signature of a helium-3 fusion reactor, visible through patches of its biomimetic skin. From its underside, carbon nanotube extraction tendrils swayed gently in the polluted air. The harvester's energy collectors vibrated at a subsonic frequency, a constant reminder of the machine's unstoppable advance. Mariko blinked, switching visual modes. "Harvester's search patterns have optimized," she subvocalized, the words appearing as scrolling text in Hero's ocular heads-up display. "Ground coverage up by double digits since yesterday. They're learning." Hero's reply came as a burst of encrypted neural activity. "That's a problem. At this rate, the sector's as good as stripped." They navigated the urban wreckage with practiced ease. Derelict synthmorphs littered the ground. Titanium endoskeletons exposed where smart polymer skin had sloughed away. Mariko's gait was precise, each step calculated to avoid the web of severed superconducting cables threading through the graphene-laced pavecrete. A hypersonic boom shattered the relative quiet. Mariko's cochlear dampeners engaged automatically, saving her organic components from permanent damage. A microsecond of shared eye contact was all it took to sync their next move. They sprinted for the nearest subway entrance, their military-grade myomer-enhanced muscles barely registering the strain. The subterranean air hit their olfactory sensors like a solid wall. Mold spores, aerosolized metal particulates, and the unmistakable methane signature of anaerobic decomposition. Mariko's bronchial filtration, nanoswarm kicked into overdrive, scrubbing each intake breath to 99.9% purity. Her retinal photon amplifiers adjusted in microseconds, resolving the gloom into sharp relief. Movement. Fast. Mariko's hand flew to her variable frequency plasma blade, its electromagnetic containment field humming to life. "Stop and identify," she commanded, her voice modulator pitching to subsonics for added menace. "Failure to comply will result in immediate neutralization." A figure coalesced from the shadows. Its rags rippled with the telltale shimmer of metamaterial adaptive camouflage, albeit a crude, outdated version. The man's eyes darted between them, pupils dilating to compensate for the low light. "Human," he said, voice raspy from filters clogged with urban particulate. "Name's Kenji. Been evading harvester patrols for 43 days, 7 hours. Mariko's threat assessment algorithms kicked into high gear, analyzing everything from micro-expressions to pheromone output. Deception probability, 17.3%. She lowered her blade a fraction. "We're en route to the old tech district. Intel suggests a harvester-free zone." Kenji nodded, quick and eager. "I can guide you. Got a Memorex eidetic encoder. Topographical data for the entire megalopolis pre-fall." Hero stepped forward, his empathy co-processor overriding tactical caution. "An extra set of eyes could tip the odds in our favor." Mariko ran the numbers, factoring in resource consumption against potential intel gains. "Agreed," she decided. "But you're on probation, Kenji. One suspect move, and you're obsolete. They delved deeper into the transit system's intestines. Mariko's neural mesh worked overtime, processing terabytes of cached sensory data. Memory fragments surfaced unbidden. Ancient vid feeds flickered through her mind. Solar farms stretching to the horizon, people breathing freely without filtration masks, sunlight warming unaugmented skin, a world she'd never known yet longed for. She quarantined the wistful subroutine for later deletion. Hours blended into a smear of censored data and tactical decisions, and they emerged into the tech district, a boneyard of broken dreams and discarded innovation. Derelict arcologies rose from the urban decay, their corroded spires mere raw material for the machines above. Faded murals on crumbling walls told a fractured history. Triumphant launches of skyscrapers followed by scenes of escalating global crises, societal collapse, and abandoned cityscapes. The final panel showed the gradual, insidious transformation of the neglected skyscrapers into the voracious harvesters, a metamorphosis unnoticed until it was too late. In the distance, a harvester's carbon nanotube extraction coils unfurled, ready to strip another building of its valuable elements. Mariko took point, her threat detection systems operating at 146% of nominal capacity. Every scrap of alloy was a potential spy drone, every shadow a possible cloaked assailant. The constant whine of harvester fusion turbines set her nerves on edge, a reminder of their relentless pursuit of resources. There, Hero indicated, his augmented vision outlining structural stress points in bright yellow. That building's superstructure is at 87% integrity, optimal defensive position. They slipped inside. Mariko deployed a swarm of utility nanobots, their collective intelligence sealing entry points at the molecular level. She sank to the floor, initiating a full systems diagnostic as her organic components screamed for rest. Hero activated a microfusion cell, its deuterium-tritium plasma reaction, casting writhing shadows on the walls. Kenji huddled near the impromptu reactor, his eyes reflecting an unnatural cobalt gleam, the telltale sign of black market optical implants. Do you really think we can outlast these machines? Mariko stared into the fusion reaction, her expression as impassive as the diamond substrate of her neural implants. The harvesters operate on rigid protocols: find, extract, repeat. Their quantum decision trees are complex but not sentient. They can't adapt easily beyond their core programming. And we can, Hero added, a flicker of optimism in his voice subroutines. Kenji's eyes lit up with sudden understanding. The old server farms in Sector 7, they're built on pre-fall architecture. If the harvesters haven't reached them yet, we might find exploitable backdoors in their base code. Mariko's gaze snapped to Kenji, reassessing his potential value. Those servers would be buried under meters of technical rubble by now, she said. True, Kenji grinned, tapping his temple. But I've got the original schematics cached. We can get there, and I can interface with the old protocols. Mariko's mind churned with nascent possibilities. The Harvester's quantum encryption was formidable, a 2048-qubit system that would take a conventional supercomputer cluster millions of years to crack. But with access to those pre-fall servers, they might just have a chance. Use the old protocols to inject a customized virus into the Harvester's hive mind, rewrite the core programming from within. She allowed herself a microsecond of satisfaction, a fleeting dopamine spike in her augmented limbic system. Tomorrow, the real work would begin. This has been Reclaiming Tomorrow, an amazing sci-fi story. Thank you for listening.